So tired, guys. So tired, and plus, these markets look like shit. I ended up getting some profits last night, so I can't be mad. But nonetheless, price kind of did the opposite of what I expected it to continue to do. Right, we're gonna go over it, of course. We're gonna go over it, but ultimately, I'm just not really like looking to shoot on anything tonight. Maybe Nasdaq, but even Nasdaq's looking shit. But we'll see. So Jay, check GBP AUD. Definitely a little bearish right now. All right, but let's go into the bias for today, or let's go over yesterday. So yesterday on UK 100, you guys know what I was waiting for is that change of character during London Open to take the entry equilibrium. I never took this. The reason I never took this is you can see by the time it did hit equilibrium, it was 3:40 in the morning. My trading hours cut off at 2. Very interesting in a good way or a bad way, Jay. But again, did not end up taking UK 100. Obviously, I'm kind of glad that it came after my trading hours because it just absolutely fucking dumped, which I didn't really expect it to do. Did end up taking DAX, where again, I did end up taking partials. Once we got a 101, I took partials a little bit down here just because, again, we had made such a big move. I mean, we made such a big move from the time that I ended stream. A 250 fucking point move from the time I ended stream to 1:10 in the morning. Pretty fucking massive move. I can't lie to you. Granted, again, like I thought price was going to come back and continue higher, but nonetheless, the rest of my position got taken out of break even. Took some profits here. It is what it is. But again, price did end up continuously selling off. Did not really expect that. And the reason I didn't expect that is because, again, we started to see that bullish internal structure. We knew that the hourly was overextended to the point where we know that we could have seen price come into the equilibrium, or at least should have in theory, just due to the fact that, again, like we were overextended. But we didn't, and we still can. We still 100% can. Like price can still make its way back up into here. That's kind of why I don't really want to just go and sell today, even though sells could end up playing out a little bit lower. I just don't think it's really something I want to shoot for, to be honest. I mean, we did break this low here. If we see where we pulled back into, we still haven't hit the equilibrium of this leg. So even if I wanted to sell, it wouldn't be valid for me. Yes, we broke these legs, confirming we're bearish, but nonetheless, I would have liked to see that pull back into equilibrium, then a 5-minute shift in structure to the downside. Then I would have considered it, truly. As far as UK 100, we did end up coming down and totally breaking these lows. So what does this mean? This means, okay, first off, price from our original range did not hit equilibrium. Since it didn't hit equilibrium and kind of continued to stretch further, that just overall stretches our range. I know it looks like price hit it now, but you have to remember that that last high was within the old range. This is the new range, so therefore we truly never hit it, even though it looks like it. We still need to hit it for us to be counted as a pullback. Still don't want to sell here just because, again, like from this high to this low, we still have room to come into the equilibrium, which again, like price could just end up selling off from there, but nonetheless, it would be a little bit risky due to the fact that we could still have that pullback. So UK 100 and DAX is not on legacy, unfortunately. That's why we're also going to trade NASDAQ, but NASDAQ looks like shit too. It looks like absolutely fucking dog shit, right? As you can see, price did have this high, had this pullback on the hourly. Nice little entry or a nice little position. Looks like we had some nice little bullish pressure. Kind of started coming up. We just see a lot of chop. A lot of chop. We go down to lower time frames. A lot of fucking chop. Same here. A lot of fucking chop. Okay. Where I would enter. Let's talk about it. Maybe if we see some type of break, it would truly have to be a break at these lows. If I'm going to be honest with you. Just because, again, like if I'm just looking at this structure here, we had pullback, we had a break, pullback, break, pullback. We didn't break here, so never counted as a break. Finally broke here, pulled back. Let's see if this pulled back into equilibrium. Nope, didn't pull back into equilibrium. No, until here. But nonetheless, this is where our new low is. Never broke a high, so this is still our low here. Okay, so in order for me to even look or want to take something, I would have to see a break of these lows, pull back and continuation. I truly don't think there's going to be any setups tonight. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you guys. Maybe for NASDAQ, okay? But for For UK 100 and DAX, I think the week is over there. We'll just let it kind of play out, see what it gives us going into next week. Again, when it comes to UK 100 and DAX, I'm not going to just come in here and just, we got to enter. No, that's not trading. That's just gambling, truly. And again, like my ultimate goal in here, guys, is to like teach you guys how to actually trade that. You can go into the markets and, okay, today's shit. Like nonetheless, price is going to move either higher or lower. We know that. So yes, we could trade, but what's the probabilities, right? The probabilities show that since we are bearish within this leg, yes, we have room to sell off, but nonetheless, we have room to go higher to facilitate the pullback of that new bearish leg, right? So therefore, if we took premature sells, we could get fucked. If we took buys, we could also get fucked due to the fact that price could just continue selling off here, right? We don't really have a buying opportunity, at least from what I can see. Not really. So nonetheless, I think today just may be a day for UK 100 and DAX sit on my hands. NASDAQ, again, we'll see if we get something. We'll see how open treats us, and we'll see if open reacts any lower. But we shall see. Anyone looking at anything? Gold? How's gold been? But while we wait for market open, guys, again, if you guys do not know, I do drop a YouTube video about every single week. I know a lot of you guys already know. A lot of you guys probably already commented. But for all of you guys that didn't comment, again, go comment, just because, again, I do a giveaway every single fucking video, right? Going forward, like on my vlogs, because, again, I am about to travel. On my vlogs, there may not be a giveaway, but I'm obviously going to still shoot trading content out there. Therefore, I am going to still have the giveaways and stuff out there, probably random giveaways as well. Again, like every single video, I've been giving away accounts. So go comment on the video I just linked. It's a great chance to win a free account. A bunch of people have already won. So, again, you could be next. I don't really repick winners. I haven't yet. I don't think I will until at least everyone that I've seen comment or every different person has won an account. So, again, if you don't win right now, you might want to subscribe. Just because, again, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next video, probably at the end of this week. Well, we are at the end of this week. Probably start of the week, there'll be another video where, again, I will announce the winner. You know what I'm saying? But where do you travel? I'm going to Thailand. Going to Thailand for a bit. Might travel around from there. We'll see. Just kind of going to go explore. I've been everywhere inside of the US. Everywhere. Like probably over 20, 30 states at this point. But I've actually never traveled outside of the country. Never have. I'll be honest, I haven't. So I kind of want to start doing that a little bit more, and just actually getting outside, seeing what the world's like. Sucks that, there's obviously wars going on right now. Obviously, I'm in Thailand. It's nowhere. It's closer to Iran and shit than the US is. But I think I'll be solid. But of course, something has to pop off right when I'm about to travel. It is what it is. We'll be good. And again, I'll still be live, guys. I'm going to be live out there. The reason I'm going to be live out there is because, again, like trading time for London is like 2, 3 p.m. You'll come back with a girlfriend. I'm actually taking my girlfriend. I'm taking my girl. So, but again, I'll be shooting some vlogs out there, some of the lifestyle stuff, but again, a lot of educational as well. I'm also thinking like psychology too. How to find golden legacy. Oops, sorry. So look up either GC, and it's the first one, or look up MGC. I suggest MGC. But yeah, I'm also thinking some psychology stuff. If you guys are in my personal Discord, I have been doing some more stuff in my personal Discord for you guys. Just to, I can't see your PC, please. What? Can you guys not see my screen share? Have I not been sharing this? Okay, no, it's there. Can you see? Okay, yeah, you can. So it's at this top over here. Again, it would just be MGC or GC. Yes, be around legacy. Yeah, you said golden legacy. Yeah, it's for free. Click my name. Click my name and go to my bio. Just press view full bio. But yes, I'll be doing some more in there for you guys, even if it's like personalized videos, personalized psychology stuff too. But obviously, there's still going to be a lot going on to the YouTube as well. But the goal is just to travel and do work, or still work, you know. That's always been my goal. Oh, from NLT, you mean? Wait, what do you mean? Joris, I believe we got to hop into our onboarding call. I'll DM you after this, Joris. I believe so. Can't wait. I'm excited, Joris. It's a dream, isn't it, Chad? Still be able to make money from it? It is. Honestly, ever since high school, that was my goal. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I can see as well as MCC on his legacy account because I don't send this legacy how it works. You saw my legacy account though. I can see as well. I was asking to see on his legacy account. I don't know what he's asking. Yeah, Doris, I believe it did. Again, tomorrow, or right after this, I'll shoot you a message. We'll talk about it on DMs. Sub join just late, guys. No trades as of right now. We're about to have market open in about 4 minutes. As far as UK 100 and DAX, again, we did take some profits last night, but nonetheless, price did end up doing exact or the opposite of what I expected it to do. I really don't think we're going to get any setups within here. I really don't think so. But nonetheless, I think NAS, we could see something. We could still see price continue to buy. Truly, we have some liquidity sitting up here. Let's see if we have their session highs. Excuse me. Yeah, we have some good liquidity sitting higher. Not going to lie. So I could be looking to buy here within this 5-minute leg. But the only way I would be able to actually look solid right now. I can't fucking lie to you. The reason I say buys look solid is because, again, like we're within this 5-minute leg. We broke structure. We finally had a pullback. And London yes, London's my favorite session. But again, now we had a pullback. We're seeing the 1 minute expand higher, breaking a lot of these internal highs. Again, guys, there's one thing I've been talking about with you guys, and that's the fact that a lot of our trades have been being missed. Like we've had within the last 2 weeks, probably like 3 or 4 trades that just missed our entry point. Last night, again, I did a deep dive into NQ data. Again, like NQ trading during London is a little bit new to me. I've obviously traded NQ for years, but obviously, like when it comes to my data behind London session, always looking to get more. We may start entering at the 50%. Okay, starting, within the next couple weeks, I want to continuously get data, just because, again, like just based off the data that I have right now, my directional bias has been correct, like damn near 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, where if, we would have entered at the 50% instead of waiting for that specific reaction point and just dealt with a bigger stop loss in some cases, we would ultimately be up way more than what I am right now. Way more, right? And again, that's why data is so important, guys, is because those being able to go back and see that actual data in the sense that, okay, this is what I've been noticing as far as my entries. We've been missing a couple of them. The ones that do hit sometimes end up losing due to a smaller stop loss and then plays out in a direction. That right there has been hurting us. Again, nonetheless, what's been really helping us is the fact that the directional bias has always been correct. I honestly could have imagined that just because, again, like it's just how markets move, right? We know that price is going to trend bullish. It's going to have pullbacks. It's going to continue to trend bullish until it doesn't want to anymore. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. But again, in this case, we already hit the equilibrium. But we'll see what happens here. So if price does expand here on the 1 minute and has another pullback, I'm going to shoot here. I generally want to start shooting at the equilibrium now. But the reason I don't want to is because at the same time, like I could get more data. but the data that I've already has already proven and shown that we have a significant amount of more losses and more missed entries, specifically more missed winning trades, than what we would have if we would have just entered at the 50% with or without a reaction, just with following the general structure of price. Truly. Again, guys, you guys don't understand like the work that I go through. Like again, I don't work that much. I don't. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, I trade. Looking cute today, Nick. Warmings. Don't get me going. No, I appreciate you. But nonetheless, again, guys, like, it's super important, like the work I do off stream, not just for me, but again, if you guys are trading with me, it's also helpful for you guys, because again, like when it comes to situations like that where, you know, I don't want to say prices necessarily changing and how it moves, because again, our directional bias is damn near correct 80% to 85% of the time. Therefore, it goes to show that price is still moving how we'd want it to move. It's just about entries at this point, which again, like in some cases I can say, or I don't want to say we're wrong for entering at those areas. Again, I had a reason for entering at those areas, and that just was based off the data that I originally had, as far as seeing those reactions and understanding that those reactions at high volume hours aligned with general direction typically go and run to that 1 and 2. But again, also another thing is, again, our stops are pretty small, right? And that has definitely been something we've been coming into contact with. Okay. But again, yeah, I think we're going to trade NQ today if we get something. At this point, we are still coming lower. We could come down into 7%. We truly could enter down here like this. Just because we are so bullish within this leg. We created this new bullish high. The reason I'd say we created a new high here is because you can see the 1 minute started trending lower. Pullbacks, continuations, finally broke that structural high. Oh fuck, we're actually in. We're like open happen. Let's see how price reacts here. We might buy. I kind of want to shoot. Oh my god, we're on fucking gold. Thank the Lord I fucking realized that shit. Alright guys, I bought, oh my gosh, that's just one contract. Hold on. I'm gonna shoot here, guys. Stops beneath the lows. We actually had a good reaction too. We didn't even need that big of a stop. But I like this. Shooting for the highs here. I'll take some partials. Take half off here. Did it get in the bar? No, oh my gosh, Lormings. There was like, before we even went live, or before Mark even went live, I was trying to trade gold. Like, for some reason wasn't letting me. And there was such a beautiful fucking fair value got fill. And I typically don't really pay attention to that, but it was fucking beautiful. It was genuinely beautiful. Can't lie. But guys, we're going to take this trade here. I like it. I like the directional bias. If we just end up coming down, shooting lower, it goes to show that price does want to go bearish for a little bit. And again, a lot of that could be due to the fact that we have been kind of hesitating, stalling up here. If that's the case, it's going to be a short stream today, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long week for me. Nonetheless, again, like, NQ has been okay. I just want to get some more data here. But I do like what we kind of have going on here. If we would have originally entered based off our system, we would have probably already been taken out. I mean, it's still systems playing out. It's how it should be. But nonetheless, you know, usually with a smaller stop is what we have, but it's still not that big. It's just kind of double. But we'll see. Again, sucked to end the week on a loss, but it is what it is. I can't complain about DAX UK 100. Again, guys, look with NQ. I come in here and trade it, obviously with a plan with the goal to win. But my biggest goal for NQ is to solely just get data. But again, still taking high quality trades, still making sure within directional bias, everything aligns as far as those, things there. But one thing that could happen is, again, like if we do end up selling off pretty deep here, we could say that price may come down to Tokyo lows and that we were just now at the high of the move, because nonetheless we are still bullish. Like, we are very bullish, so therefore, like, there's nothing wrong with this trade, just based off general direction of seeing higher highs, higher lows. We're starting to see that 1 minute break structure have a pullback within that 1 minute internal high, and ultimately we could expect price to now come and take those highs of that the last 5 minute high. Okay, but obviously price doesn't necessarily have to do that. Okay, hopefully we close strong here. That we're entered, yeah, entered right there. We're still in. Okay, let's get to that 101. We may not. We could just end up tanking here. That was a horrible reaction. Again, I don't do targets, so no targets hit. Yeah, I think we might continue lower, guys. Again, I can't be mad with the entry. Still valid. Still some nice buying pressure. Still bullish, but nonetheless, again, we could have been buying at the high of the overall move, where price is now looking to come down into these liquidity areas before then potentially continue higher later on. Oops. But we'll see. Oh, what another horrible top wick, guys. What a horrible top wick. I want to see a strong close. Yeah, Dave. I actually am in some buys. We're in some drawdown right now. Price is kind of fluctuating. I think we're going to end up coming down here. We're just based off the top wicks, guys. We could exit at break even, to be honest, but at the same time, I'd rather take the loss here, just because of, again, like, you guys can exit at break even. Feel free if you don't like the trade. Again, we do have room to come down, but nonetheless, like, I am still bullish within the 5 minute, within the 1 minute, where I'd be more mad at myself if I ended up taking out premature and price ended up coming up and, playing out with my overall bias. I'd rather take that loss, take it for what it is, understand that, again, we were buying at a good area, but nonetheless, we were buying at the ultimate high of that range, where price was now ready to flip and come bearish. All right. Again, like, to each your own. But nonetheless, I'd rather take the loss there if it does end up going to a loss. We could move our stops here too, because I see no reason for price to come any lower than those lows, and if it does, it's just going to invalidate price. If we do get another little push up, we could be moving to break even and just letting it go. Let's get a nice little bottom wick. Again, we're still within this bearish leg, so. But if we come break these lows, I can ultimately assume that price is probably just going to dip down from there. So. There. I'm out, guys. Not a bad loss. Not a bad loss. We're now coming down further, so we would have taken a full loss potentially. Again, we can still play this. I mean, it just depends on what price does from here on out. First things first is, like, price. I'm not going to go and just look for a sell once we switch this 1 minute character or change a character here, just because of the fact that, again, price could still stay valid within this 5 minute bullish leg here. Again, this is something to keep in mind. Price is still within this bullish leg, and until we break these lows, we will still be in that bullish leg. So, but again, I'm fine with that. One hour is a little bit choppy. Not gonna lie, the 1 hour could have cut me away just based off these top wicks now that I look at it. Tap to the bears, I would continue lower. Yeah. Sells might be a go, guys. Can't lie to you. Tap that for value gap. Dipping lower. But I don't want to just impulsively enter. Again, like, you guys can definitely enter at a like break of these lows, look to target the lows, but nonetheless, again, like the reason I don't really want to enter is like, yes, price can definitely win here. 100 fucking percent, 1000% could win here. But again, like if price does still stay bullish within that overall 5-minute bullish leg and continues higher, again, I'd be more mad at myself for impulsively entering there. But again, one thing that I did now realize is we had a lot of top wicks on the hourly. Kind of did not pay attention to that. I will be honest there. But that is honestly something that I always preach, which I'm kind of mad that I didn't see. Because a lot of times these are early signs in the fact that price is now hesitating, is now exhausted from pushing higher, and we now could be seeing lower prices. So. We're now coming up into DAX, 15-minute EQ. Again, I'm not going to be entering here, guys. Sup, CZ Rock. Let's peep at JJ. Yeah, definitely. Again, like there is room for sells. Like again, we did see that as price kind of had that bearish impulse. Nonetheless, again, like I still like the buys until we are now invalidated from those buys, but I would still have to wait until I could actually like properly sell off for me. I'll check gold right now. UK 100. One thing with UK 100, we still haven't facilitated a pullback. Like we are now pushing back down. Yes, we are bearish within the 5-minute structure, but just because of the fact that that 15-minute structure is still unfilled, like I'm still going to be hesitant. Like I'm personally not going to enter, but that's just me personally. Gold. Nice little bottom wick. But we're still kind of looking a little bit choppy. I know Discord's finally not fucking bugging. But Crystal, no trades for DAX or UK 100 today. NQ, we took a quick short right off the open. I mean, not short, sorry. We took some buys right off the open, ended up getting taken out with the short and stop loss. Price is now kind of starting to come down, which again, I think we were just buying at the highs, which again, like it's gonna happen, but nonetheless we're still bullish. Truly, we still could stay bullish within here. We could take sells, but again, like I need to see price break this low here. I really do. And we still haven't even broken this low yet. We've just kind of been liquidating it, kind of bottom wicking it. Caught the bottom here at 11. You little demon, George. That's what you are. I mean, the daily looks good for buys, though, on NASDAQ. Nice bottom wick. Prior Thursday. 4-hour looks okay. It's the hourly that doesn't look good, to be honest. Just like this here. But nonetheless, that is also a lot of liquidity kind of just building up within this area as well. Are you doing much this weekend? I'll just be packing. I got some coaching calls tomorrow with some students. And then I will be helping them out right before I hop on a plane for 21 hours. Long ass flight. That flight has me fucking... But I'll be doing most likely just work the entire flight. Probably editing. Stuff like that. Some back testing. Not really back testing, guys, but just overall data. Just data. Just again, like, in terms of where you headed, Japan? No, I'm headed to Thailand. I might travel around out, like, of Thailand and just kind of stay in that area. Yeah, like, sales look good, Brando. Lormings, I know you love the Ladyboys. Sales look good, but nonetheless, like, I'm still bullish just based off the higher time frame, like the 5-minute structure. Again, like, we did just get taken out where price kind of just came down, wicked our entry, which this has been happening a lot, but nonetheless, it was still valid to take these buys within this internal bullish structure just because we had that pullback, we had the shift in direction, we had the pullback of that 1 minute, we entered at 7%, we just had price come down a little bit lower, and it looks like we are now headed back up. But we'll see. Again, we could be headed back up momentarily, but nonetheless, like, price is still within this bullish leg, had a pullback, so we could just be continuing into taking all these highs up here, but we'll see. We could create another top wick and just absolutely melt off. But again, this is also like another piece of data here. Entry was there, stuff's there, TV there. Again, this is probably how I will be entering, guys. I mean, it's same model as far as how I analyze the trade as far as directional bias. I'm just giving myself a little bit more breathing room on the stop loss in most cases at this point, and making sure that, you know, we're not hitting or not missing our reaction points, because there was too many situations like that, guys. Chris, I think it's like a bot. It's like a indicator that tells you when to buy or sell. Yeah. When am I going to be back? I'll be back in 2 weeks. But, like, I'm still going to be live, guys. Like, I'm still going to be live. I'll be live out there. Don't worry. Still going to be streaming. I'm still going to be trading. Still going to be working. And, like, I don't look at it as vacation. Like, ever since I was a kid and I would travel with my parents. And I'll probably make a video on this, too. I never looked at, like, traveling as a vacation, because I feel like that's like a mindset of, not to be rude in any way, shape, or form, but if someone, you know, like, who works a job and needs a vacation, right? I'd always call it a trip, because to me, like, in me telling myself that this is a trip, it was kind of solidifying that this is going to be a normal thing. I'm not mean, Dave, because this is even when, like, I had a job, like, way back then. It was just a way of solidifying that look, like, this is the life I want to live, in the sense of being able to travel, work, take trips whenever I want, wherever I want, and work from wherever I want. So again, that's why I say, like, I'm still going to be streaming, I'm still going to be live, I'm still going to be active. You guys can still message me, and stuff like that. Like, I'm still going to be here. I'll just be in a different country. Ahmed, no. Sadly took a loss on NASDAQ. Took a pretty quick loss, to be honest. NASDAQ has been kind of punching me in the fucking gut. I could care less. Just because, again, my main trading does occur on DAX and UK1. This is where I trade my main capital, my live capital, guys. But again, obviously, I still care about NQ. Like, again, you guys know me by now, fully transparent in the sense of I'm not coming here to just take trades. Like, I take trades based off, one, it needs to be a high quality setup, and two, again, like I don't just come in here to take a trade. No, like in this case, again, we were bullish. We had a directional bias. We had probabilities in our favor up until the point where we didn't, right? And that's just, again, where we saw price come up, create new structure, dip down, ended up taking these lows. But nonetheless, one, we could see price continue to sell off, and a lot of that is due to the hourly time frame. But two, we could see price also continue to buy back up because of the fact that we were still in this 5-minute bullish trend, and we could have just came down to take some more liquidity to potentially fill in this imbalance here, and then we could see prices then come higher, which again, I can't do anything about that just because, again, we already confirmed with the 1-minute bullish leg that we were at least intending to go bullish from here on out after this pullback into the 71% or the equilibrium, but we just ended up failing right at this area, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, like I've traded NQ, Dave, but like trading NQ during London, very, very new. Very, very new. But again, like everything, like my whole system, everything, like everything's the same as DAX, and the way I trade everything is how I trade NQ, other than what our original entry model was. But I think I am going to kind of just go back to, instead of having a fixed stop loss approach and having a more of a structural approach, which I typically do like, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, it's just at the time with the data that I have, having more of a not structured approach, having a set limit approach really did show in those situations with those amount of trades that I did get data on, that it was working more than not. You know, we were killing it within the first month, within the first couple weeks, but then we started to see, again, a lot of situations where we just missed our entry point and price ran in our favor, but it did hit equilibrium, meaning if we would have entered at equilibrium with a stops beneath the lows, we would have still won. There's been a lot of situations where price has barely taken us out because we have such a small stop loss, staying valid within our directional bias and still playing out. And again, a lot of that data is very, very revealing and telling me, okay, like directional bias correct. Nothing wrong there, right? At least majority of the times. Obviously, I'm not going to be 100% perfect, but majority of the times it's there. What's killing me is, again, the stop loss size and the fact that we are missing a lot of these entries. Like, did you watch a YouTube channel? How can I be like you? Just ask me, I put them on. It comes with, I'd say experience, like continuously trade. Like, again, I started years ago. I started in high school, and when I started, I didn't know shit, guys. Like, I really did not know shit. I kid you not. Like, I didn't know anything. Like, I can even show you like some of the trades that I would take back, way back in like 2022 and shit. Cause I would journal then, guys, and if I'm journaling then, that goes to show. Like, look at this. This was the type of shit I was doing in 2022, guys. Okay. This goes to show that, again, I was always getting data. I was always journaling. There was no excuse not to. But it also goes to show that, again, how did I know about trading in high school? One of my friends actually found out from his cousin, like learned about Forex, kind of told me about it. He kind of got me into it. We kind of started dabbling around with it to the point where we're like, you know, like this is cool, like we like it. At that point, like I always knew I wanted to do something with like business. I knew like even if I didn't have to go to college, like I wanted to be like a fucking CEO. I wanted to be a boss. Like I've always just had like a leadership mentality. And like very good, like people just listen to me, people follow me very well, you know, within school, within life. So I always kind of knew I wanted to do something with that. But then, you know, I realized trading was, you know, an approach that I could take where I would have total time freedom, and I just kind of stuck with it and kind of created a schedule. So what was the thing about those 4 experiments games? What the fuck were those about? I don't even know. Thankfully I never got in those. I think you're talking about IML. Because IML was like a pyramid scheme, I heard. But I never got into that. Thankfully, like again, like I still lost money on my own, but like I never had to deal with that bullshit, that pyramid scheme, whatever. Um, Thankfully, so grateful for that. I was actually talking to my friend about that the other day. I was like, I'm so grateful we didn't get like caught up into any of that. We just kind of did our own thing. We learned off YouTube every now and then, of course. That's where we're finding information. But again, over time, just through experience, just through continuous trial and error, I started to realize that, like the way price really moves is like this. Started to get better and better and better. The more connections I made too also started to help me as far as, people giving me more like insight. Like when I say insider tips, it's not like they're inside traders, but they're just more experienced, more knowledgeable. How do you feel about UK 100 shorts? I think you can definitely take UK 100 shorts, but again, like I'm not going to trade UK 100 just because the 15-minute has sold off, and I do think we have room to have a deeper pullback. So that's my only concern. What is the most important thing I need to know about trading? I'd say, one, have a system. Like have a system to follow, even if it's something that you just take from someone else at the start, but at least find someone who fits your personality and your lifestyle, meaning you're able to trade when they trade, or you're able to apply the concepts they're applying, which again, like in my case, you can apply these concepts on any markets. Like again, the concepts I use for UK 100 DAX, I use for NQ, right? Obviously, like just within the last couple weeks has been a little bit of an entry model, but that doesn't mean the overall analysis is different. So have a system, and two, make sure you're getting data. Again, like even at the level I'm at, guys, like I'm always continuously getting data and always continuously looking to see, okay, like could I have entered differently on this trade based off this, and this. Obviously, like just because of one trade, I'm not going to go and just switch things up. That's a bad mindset. I used to do that early on, and that's where I really got fucked over a lot, was because I thought, and a lot of people think data means going back and getting data to switch up your trades or your system right then and there. No, it's just getting data to see if it's continuously happening, to give you the idea that, okay, like if this is continuously reoccurring, of course I want to make a change because it's ultimately hurting me, right? With as much hate as it gets, with as much hate as it gets, there were some solid teachers. Yeah. Oh, so I heard there was actually like some people who actually like taught like trading in there, and they were actually decently well. It was just like they also were just, maybe they were also in the blind of like what they were, within. I did watch my payout interview, George. I like the name drop. I love that. You can tell my phone though. What's your opinion on UK 100? UK 100 again, like it is very bearish, I'd say, within like the lower time frames. And I do think you can definitely continue to sell, but nonetheless, like I'm going to hold back here just because I have a feeling we could come a little bit higher. Your AI slot boys. Where can I watch this? It's on the Legacy Funded YouTube video. Legacy Funded YouTube channel, sorry. Telling you on Nazar Chasing. I know, JJ. It sold off without us. But again, I still didn't have entry, guys. Like I didn't want to impulsively enter to break these lows. Just because, again, like stops would have been here, most likely. But nonetheless, it was just... no trade copiers right now, Daniel. But we will have some in the future. That's good. At least they like kind of drove that idea. So thank you, George. I know I heard that, and I told Luke, I was like, yeah, George's the man. Wow, we are fucking tanking, guys. If you guys got in sells, clap it up for you. Again, it looks like I bought at the last bullish leg before that pullback did end up occurring. We ended up getting stuck in that. Price is now pulling back. Which again, I initially intended price to sell off and break these lows. Again, if you guys were here, I did kind of say I wanted to see price break these lows if we were going to go bearish, but I did see that price was still bullish within here, and again, I was still wanted to take that. Looking for re-entry. Yeah, Doris, I'm gonna text you tonight. You can enter it tomorrow and stuff like that. But just check your DMs. Re-entry. The only way, like if I were to enter now, it's probably gonna be for sales, just because we are now confirming sells with the break of this low here. Again, like we were bullish. Now we've broken this low, so we could take sales back down, but nonetheless, like it's the 5 minute. So actually we at this high. Nonetheless, it's the 5 minute. So I need to see a pullback into the equilibrium of that 5 minute leg and wait for some type of 1 minute shift in character. Why were you nervous, George? You're a payout legend. Also, before you guys head out, I mean, I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer. I was tired, but this monster got me awake. Again, you guys can go get yourself a legacy funded account right now. Use code Nick for a little discount, you know. I got you guys. Yeah. Go get an account. Again, we're about to end the week. Doesn't mean you have to trade it. Get an account. Get ready for next week. We'll see what's going on. I know Luca killed it this week. Mark killed it this week. I believe Chris killed it this week. I did okay this week. I can't lie to you guys. You know, fully honest with you. Enki was, you know, a little punch in the gut. I think we only took 2 trades, if I'm not mistaken. One was a loss that ended up winning. This one was just a flat out loss. I can admit to that. But nonetheless, we'll be back next week with some primetime trading. But again, like I said, there was a lot of data that I got, and as far as like telling me in some situations where I could have entered a little bit differently instead of entering the way we were entering, and we would have won maybe 1 or 2 trades this week, kind of going break even, depending on how our RR was. Could have had some winners again, like last night. Where was it? You know, like this is what I'm mainly talking about. Where was it? Was it right here? I think it was. Yeah, it was right here. So we originally see that price ended up breaking lower here. Had to pull back into 50%. We never had a reaction of the 7%. But again, if we would have entered that 50%, stops at the low, 1 and 1. We could have moved to break even, hold a 1 and 2. Price would have won there. Same thing here. We made a new low. We had to pull back into 1 and 1. We could have held to 1 and 1. Took in partials. If we would have held a 1 and 2, obviously we wouldn't have hit it, but the rest of our position would have gotten taken out of break even. So it wouldn't have really mattered. And again, it wasn't just this data that ultimately like threw me over in deciding, you know, like the entry model has been kind of fucking me over, but it honestly kind of has been. I can't lie to you, you know. I mean, we could short here, guys. I can't lie to you guys. It's a pretty big fucking stop, though. Ugly ass stop. I hate having big stops. But we could be filling and re-dipping. Just because we've now invalidated these lows here. Shows we're now bearish. This would be my last shot of the week. For sure. Since we're on the 5, I honestly like want to wait for some, like, I hope like some type of structural lows are created within here. So we can hit this area, break those lows, and then we can enter on the 1 minute, which would just be a double confirmation and ultimately better. I say if you're starting, truly, start with the funded account. Again, like you can go click the link above. You can go get a nice, you know, 50K account for like $70 if you use code Nick. Get that because again, it's $70 for a 50K account. Right, unless you have 50K to put into a live account. But even if you had 50K to put into a live account, if you don't really know what you're doing yet, don't rush into it. Again, like people come into like trading with the mindset like I want to make money and I want to make money fast. But like the real talk, like it's not about making money fast. It's about understanding the systems and applying those systems that will make you money in due time. Truly. Again, like I tell my students that all the time. Like I even tell you guys that too. Don't focus on the fucking money. Like, don't. Like, if you focus on the money, it's ultimately going to hurt you more than it is going to help you. And I'm not saying you are, Ahmed, right? I'm kind of talking to everyone here. But it's just, you know, advice. because again, like the way I look at it and the way I did start looking at it when I really started like popping off and like started blowing up, or like just getting better in general, was as long as I did everything correct, I had a system, I was following my system, I was getting data, the money just was forced to come. Like it had to come. I was doing everything correct for the money to come, so therefore it came, right? But if you just continuously just focus on the money aspect of things and not the actual processes that make you money, you're probably going to end up losing, truly. It's like the saying, like the more you chase, like the farther it kind of goes away. Like if you chase the fucking dog, it's going to run away from you. But if you attract it, in the sense of you have a fucking treat, you know, and you can use that analogy as like you have a treat, but you know, like that treat is your system, you know, you're attracting it based off, you know, like what you know works, and those are the systems that are within trading, you know, you're more likely going to receive it rather than have to chase it. Can we think it's a reaction here on Nas? Nah. Like you guys can definitely sell from here, but like, this is not my sell point. Again, like if I were like, again, even though we took these buys up here and sells did end up playing out, I would have been more mad at myself if I would have hopped in these sells premature, even though we would have won. But nonetheless, that does not follow my system in any way, shape, or form, right? In the sense of the general direction, structure, following structure. Because again, until we break these lows, we were still bullish. We could have came down all the way into here and just absolutely flipped higher, and we would have taken an unnecessary loss for impulsively entering. Same thing here, is we could enter sells here, and yes, 100% price could sell off, 100%. But the probabilities of price selling off compared to it continuing into its pullback before the sell-off and giving you a loss is a lot higher than what it is than taking those sells there. But nonetheless, if your system calls for taking those sells at specific reaction points or specific, you know, candle patterns within the market, by all means, go for it. And honestly, I don't know what he saw, but I low-key saw this candle pattern after the fact, and that shit honestly probably should have told us to kind of wait off on buys. I can't lie to you. Can't lie to you guys. Just because again, like this type of pattern, this type of like candle formation, we're seeing a lot of topics is just very, very keen or like big signal on the fact that price is just overall exhausting itself. Not in a trade, guys. No, not yet. I think I might take these sells. Pretty big stop. I can't lie. See what happens. I'm willing to give it some time, guys. But I think once we hit here, I may just enter what stops above the highs. Why is that still on? Let's go ahead and flatten. I'll make sure nothing's in there. Oh no, we're about to see all rainbow and shit. All right, I have a limit order at 50%. Stops are at the highs. Our first TP won't be there. I mean, it will be there. But let's kind of look at the overall trend. Once we get to 101, Like if we do end up getting tapped in, we do end up selling right back off, we get to 101, I'll probably just move to break even and let the rest just run into 1 and 2, just because I do think we do have a lot of downside potential now that price is kind of confirmed. I don't like this bottom wick, not gonna lie, but the 30-minute doesn't look bad. Looks like we can kind of just come up, rebalance, come back lower. We could enter higher, like we don't necessarily have to enter at the 50% because of how the 30-minute looks too. Nonetheless, we could just hit equilibrium and sell off. So, but at the same time, we could come higher up within the 30-minute just because we have a lot of imbalance sitting up here. Fill that imbalance and then continuously sell off. But I'm going to shoot here. Rainbow to represent your love for LGBTQ. Gosh. Y'all are crazy. FX8, I'm going to sell once we hit the 50%. Again, we took initial buys, but we took the buys, what it looks like to be at the high of that move, where price did end up flipping and kind of confirming bearish structure to where I can assume price should continue bearish within this new bearish internal leg. But if we do end up selling off, we could have targets down into this area. Oh, fuck. Down to this area, which is about a 1 to 2. Ultimately, we could assume that price could come and fill this entire leg too. So, and I will hold that if we get to break even. George, that's your girl? That's your girl in Thailand? No, Brand, I'm not in South yet. It hasn't hit my area. George. We got to put George on a timeout, guys. All right, guys, this is what I was talking about with UK100. Again, like we look good from, a lower time frame standpoint for sells, but nonetheless, again, like looking at higher time frame structure, this is where it's very important. Understanding multi-time frame analysis is, again, the fact that we were within a fresh bearish leg on the 15-minute, saw bullish internal price action, even though we started to flip momentarily. Again, price's ultimate goal is always to facilitate those pullbacks into equilibrium or into higher prices before it ends up continuously selling off. Because again, the way you got to think about it is institutions and banks sell price off into a discounted price. Okay, they're going to push price up into a higher price so they can sell for a higher price. But obviously, if price isn't at equilibrium or at a higher price, they're not really getting any deal on it. So therefore, in these cases, you will see these fake outs to lead price higher into a higher price where they can then sell off back into a discounted price because it's a higher, more expensive price. They'll make more money, and then they can just tank it back down into a discounted price to then look to buy up again. Reason for waiting for 50% is, again, that confirms the overall pullback of that new leg. Again, it was basically what I was just going over for UK100. It's just the same thing here. Again, institutions and banks have clearly pushed down price into a discounted area. When we're now in a discounted area, it is now cheaper. Therefore, we can assume this is why we see pullbacks a lot, is because once we're in a cheaper price will then be pushed up into a higher price. So once price does end up selling back off into a discounted price, they ended up selling at either an equal price or equal asking price, or they end up selling from a higher price where they do end up making more money than if they would have just sold from here. So but again, that's, it's a prime example of, like, I do this same analysis as I do UK100 and DAX with NQ. Again, like, the only thing that has been different, guys, is just our entry models. But honestly, like, kind of going forward, I think I'm going to continue to take the same approach as I would with NQ and any other market that I trade, just because, again, it goes to show that majority of the time that again, like price is playing out with my direction. We're just getting fucked on stop loss, and I'm tired of that shit. Like it's bullshit, you know. Nonetheless, like it's not like I, you know, wanted it, but the fact of the matter is, it started to happen. I started to realize it, and it's really just kind of about adapting and making sure that I'm not continuously getting fucked over by it. Because again, like if data's telling me switch this, do this, you would have ultimately made this much more, be based off the fact that your general direction is pretty much correct majority of the time. If I were to just not switch, I'd most likely, yes, we could continue to still have some good days, bad days, but nonetheless, what we were seeing more is more bad days than good days. And bad days doesn't always mean losing days. Some of the bad days I'm talking about is, once again, days where price barely missed our entry point and still went in our direction, and we didn't enter based off that one little confluence. Nonetheless, I'm in sells now. Again, you guys, we could, like, again, like this is my last trade of the night. This bottom looks ugly. But nonetheless, I think we are very bearish. We ended up switching character. If we do end up going higher, I have no words. But nonetheless, I do think we are, even if we do go higher, like I could care less. Just because, again, like the probabilities were in our favor with buys as far as us being bullish. Probabilities are in the favor of us being bearish here because we ended up coming lower, changing character, and nonetheless, we can ultimately assume price could continue lower. If we're going to see a deeper pullback, it's probably due to the fact that imbalance is still sitting higher up here. We could come fill this entire imbalance and then make our way back lower. So again, that's why I said you could have waited for the 71% entry. I'm fine with the 51%, or the 50%, sorry. We'll see what happens. We'll see if price does end up continuing to shift back lower from there on out. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But I would very, very much be shocked if price just kind of played a back and forth game with us today, where we ended up buying up, selling off, buying up, probably then right back selling off. Yeah, Daniel. What do you use, Daniel? What do you use? Trading View. You don't use a live account right now? Honestly, Mark, I had a feeling there was news today. I really did. Is it NFP? Yeah. Yeah, so Mark could be right, guys. Like, we could just be getting caught in one of those. Like, again, structure looks good, but if we do start seeing chop and just seeing a lot of consolidation, we could just be building liquidity for NFP to fucking absolutely fucking wipe shit out. So, Daniel, you don't trade live accounts? Paper trading? How's it been going? Let's see what price does here. You went on US 100. Yeah, I'm in sells. Took sales at equilibrium just based off overall direction. But again, that's the reason the stops are so big, just because, again, price does have room to come as high as up into here. So that's why, again, I want to make sure those stops are in a structural highs, just to kind of confirm. Oh, sorry, not YM. NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ, guys. This is NASDAQ. Sorry. But again, once we get to our 1-to-1, which is these lows, if we do end up getting to those lows, I will just be moving to break even, and I'm just gonna let the rest run. Let's look for some targets, maybe daily lows, just because we know that price could come down and take those daily lows. Honestly, I think I'll have it where it's at because that's a pretty significant move, and plus we have not taken daily highs yet. Excuse me. But I do like seeing this 1 hour bearish leg. We could end up coming and filling that before coming and taking daily lows. So if that's the case, we'll back up pretty nicely. If not, we'll just, you know, get taken out of break even, depending on how price continues to move. Nice top wick. Again, this would have been one of those situations, guys, where I can fully honestly say, if we would have him and you unfunded, yeah, funded in live accounts. But this is another example of, again, like the entry model that we've kind of been, you know, approaching price with when it comes to, again, just still following the same overall general direction, but waiting for these reaction points. This is a beautiful reaction, but nonetheless, like, what do I like to see is I like to see those reactions off either order blocks, fair value gaps, or these specific levels, 71% or 50%. We saw price kind of blow through 50%. We saw this reaction miss 71%. So again, we wouldn't have entered. And let's say price does end up selling off without ever hitting 71%. This would have been another trade that we miss out on. But obviously, it could save us if price just ends up fucking flying. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I can charge my fucking phone. Vago stop loss, yeah. I think we're kind of going to switch the entries up a little bit. It's been fucking us over too much. Some losses that end up being wins, some missed entries that end up being wins, and it's just it. I've always, truly, generally speaking, and this is why I trade UK 100 and DAX like this. I can't say I've always been against set stops and TPs, because obviously we were doing that for NQ, but again, that's just kind of what data went to show that was working at the time. But nonetheless, like, the reason having stops at structural highs and lows is so much better, in my opinion, is because, again, like, you're playing that overall leg. So you could assume that, again, like, if we would have had a very short stop here, 10 points, we would have been taken out. But nonetheless, price is still valid within this bearish leg until we break these highs. So having stops at these highs tells us if these get broken, the likeliness of us coming back down is a lot less lower than what it would be over here. Therefore, we can ultimately consider this trade a loss, a losing trade, once we break these highs, because that's our structural high. Same thing with UK 100. Again, like the DAX trade that we took. Did I clear it? Fuck, I did. The DAX trade we took last night. Was it DAX? Yeah. So we ended up taking a break at these highs. Stops at the lows. Went for a 1-1. Ultimate goes 1-2. Stops were at these lows because, again, price could have pulled back all the way down into here before continuing higher. Nonetheless, my rest of my position got taken out of break even, and that's why I have a specific management plan for price until it comes back down. I wish I could find a better kind of example for you guys, but it's like the best we're gonna get. We're about to have hourly close, and the hourly close is going to be disgusting. Can't lie to you. Can't lie to you. Guys, I shouldn't drink this energy drink. I'm going to be up for a bit. Can't lie. Can't lie, can't lie. YouTube chat, go check out if you guys want an account. Again, you can go use code Nick, get yourself a discount, and I see a lot of new faces in here, so again, just always trying to help out. I feel you. Fire. Again, guys, I wouldn't have made this change if price didn't ultimately show that this change needed to be made. But again, that doesn't, like, we already took that first loss. You know, that goes to show that even though with the change, like, the losses are still going to happen. Now, you guys should know that automatically, even when price looks good, right? Again, like, you guys should know, and I even made a video on it. Sometimes it's the best looking trades that end up losing, just because that's just trading for you at the end of the day. It happens. A lot of times, again, your solid looking trades, your highest quality trades lose just because, again, that's just the probability factor of things. But again, I still have faith in this trade. I think we're moving good. I just don't like how the hourly is going to end. I hope we see some nice bearish volume step in before that hourly close to give us a little bit less of a bottom here, because that's really ugly. Really, really, really fucking ugly. Almost looks like we fill this gap now that I look at it. Like, if we fill that gap and go higher, guys, like, again, I would care less about this loss, just because at that point we're just getting caught within a lot of chop. And, like, we're seeing good movement, but, like, the reason I say chop is because, again, like, we had room to go higher, failed to go higher, came lower, showing that internal structure was now lower. Looks, if we do fail to come lower, again, like, at that point we are just kind of being very choppy, and I can expect price to probably just chop out throughout the night and wait for NFP to fuck everyone over. But at least I'll be asleep, so. Alright, what did DAX do? DAX hit equilibrium. Again, like, you guys can now sell on DAX, but again, I don't think I'm going to, guys. Massive fucking stop. Oh, God, no, I'm not going to sell there. God, no. Unless price on DAX came down. Unless price comes down, creates a new 5-minute low, pulls back, and then we see continuation, I will enter at that, potentially. Just because, again, like, that first stop is 300 points. In no fucking way, shape, or form am I going to have a 300-point stop loss. Fuck no. But we've now completed and facilitated a deep enough pullback to now expect price, if it did end up shifting lower within that internal structure, to remain to continue lower due to the fact that we broke these lows. Okay. Nonetheless, like, we do still have room to come up and hit equilibrium within here, but if we're still going to show that we are wanting to go bearish, I'm going to continue to go bearish. Same thing, UK 100. We're about to hit equilibrium here. We haven't already. No, we haven't. So we'll see what that happens. And again, same thing with UK 100. If price hits equilibrium, shoots down and creates a new bearish leg, we could play the pullback down. But again, this all has to happen within the next hour. If I don't get entry before 2 a.m., I'm not going to enter. Simple as that. Simple as that. Alright, guys, we're now coming back into profits. Let's see what happens. Let's hopefully get that bearish volume. Oh my fucking gosh, I'm tired. I am off like no sleep. So if we get that push down into these lows, get to 101, get to break even, and I'll probably end stream with stops at break even, and I'm just gonna let fucking price run. I'm gonna just let it run into here, which is a nice little like 1 to 3, almost 1 to 4. But again, we still got to first get to 101, which is our break-even point. But again, if you guys don't yet follow me on Instagram, you're fucking... I was going to say something horrible, but you're missing the fuck out. Go follow me on Instagram, guys. Go follow me on Instagram. I know majority of you guys do, because you guys are fucking G's. Yeah, Joris, we're in sales right now. Since we did enter in those buys at the last high of that bullish range, and we just got fucked in that situation, we ended up flipping structure. I think we're valid for sells here, just because, again, we just flipped structure, change character, whatever you want to call it. Nick was Jennifer. No, I wasn't, Lormings. How dare you say that? I am not TGR. TJR. I always call him TGR. I'm not TJR, buddy. I'm better than that. Just cause I'm black from the waist down, I know better. I know better, Lormings. That's crazy. I gave myself the pass, Lormings. Just kidding. Thank you. Fuck. Any questions, guys? Again, this is like the perfect opportunity to fucking ask questions. I may be a little bit tired, but we're just sitting here bored. You guys got any questions about trading? Like, this is literally why we do this shit. Yeah, I'm selling on NAS. Gonna sell on NAS. Gonna see if we can take price lower. What would have actually been nicer here, guys, is like what we could have waited on these sells 100%, 1000%, and we could have waited for the 1 minute to shift and break these lows here, and then play this new 1 minute internal leg. We would have had a way shorter stop loss, way faster TPs. Nonetheless, if you guys didn't enter, you possibly could. I won't enter yet because we haven't broken those lows, obviously. But I'm just giving you an example. How can I take different entry points in legacy funded? Well, like, let's say you're in cells, like we're in cells here, and let's say I wanted to enter cells again. Like, again, like at a pullback of this leg here. It's not going to enter me in at a different price point here. It's just going to ultimately enter me into the same position, but push it down. Does that make sense? Yeah, everything's going to go into the same. Here, let me peep some for you, George. Let me peep some. Basically watch the second latest one, the third latest one.
For me, I took the same setup on FTSE and DAX, two totally different markets. And
this one's fire. This one's fire.
How I did it. What's good, everyone? It's Nick.
I'm gonna start making more of these two, guys, just because like they're pretty fire. Just like quick little breakdowns of trades and shit. This one. Those two are key. Those two are heat. We ended up breaking those lows, guys. I want to see if price would have reacted nicely. I just want to see. Again, I'm still in sells nonetheless. But again, like I wanted to see if like now that we broke this 1 minute internal low, if we were to have waited for this, came back into equilibrium, if we could have just sold from there and we would have cut that 1 to 2 a lot faster. Yeah, we're in short, Abu. We're in some shorts here. Let's make back our losses from the fucking week, guys. I mean, granted, we only had 2 losses, but it's just I can't even I can't blame Nas. I can't even blame myself. It's just I really do think it was just our entry. W Nix, W Dave. W Dave. But also, guys, if you guys didn't know, I know you guys know Luca in here. If you guys didn't know, me and Luca are actually coming together to help out a small group of students. There's actually a couple students in here is already just kind of chilling out, watching, getting a small group of students that we're going to start helping out and kind of coaching them, teaching them how to trade. So again, if any of you guys want to get information on that, you always feel free to DM me on Discord, Instagram. Again, there's a couple students already in here. We only got a couple spots, so again, they are kind of filling up. But again, it's honestly probably the best way to see growth the fastest. I can generally tell you that. Again, if you guys don't know, like Luca even taught me like when I was at a certain point too. It was kind of like a one-on-one mentorship, more of it like an in-person one. And that's definitely what helped me a lot. So much. So much. But yeah, it's me and Luca. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. Different entry, everything goes the same. Yeah, FX Pro, that's how futures is. With futures, you don't get like different entries like you would with like Forex. It's like if you enter a little bit lower than what your original sell point was, your contracts are just going to be added to that initial entry point and it's just going to be pushed down. That makes sense. So that's where it's like, if you did want to enter twice, you're going to have to deal with the fact that it's going to push you down. Nonetheless, you will be in more contracts. You'll still be in profits, typically. Or again, like you just enter your one move and you don't just spam positions. Did any sort of mindset change? I think the mindset change happened before Joris. I could say that for sure. Like, I think the mindset change was already there. And that's what kind of led up to me getting a payout. My first payout. Like winning streaks, I think winning streaks are definitely a confidence boost. But this is why, like, I think having, me and Luca, like, kind of to help you and guide you from here on out, is winning streaks could ultimately hurt you too, guys. Like, winning streaks, especially for people who aren't strong mentally. And it's not like I'm not trying to jab at anyone if you're not strong mentally. I've been there. I've done that. But I have to kind of push that point because it's like sometimes those win streaks are going to lead to overconfidence in the sense of, you think because you won the last week, every single trade, you can go into next week and you're just going to fucking kill it and just ball out. But that can ultimately cause you to over risk, over trade, revenge trade, and next thing you know, your account's gone. And again, like that was totally off topic from what you asked, Joris. But I think we're going to go into like one thing with me, Joris, is we're going to go into a lot of psychology too, because I think psychology is, you hear it all the time, is probably one of the most important aspects when it comes to trading. Like technicals are fairly easy to learn. Pretty easy to learn. Like, yes, it can take some time to like get it down to the T. But like what it really comes down to is, again, making sure you have the mental discipline to be able to execute on that plan, that same boring plan every single day. Like, again, like if I were like, you can't get bored. Or you are going to get bored, but you can't let that boredom affect you and go and taking random trades because you want to make money. And that goes back to my conversation earlier about, and we're going to have this conversation too, Joris. For this next couple weeks, don't think about money. Don't think about money. Don't. Just literally do yourself a favor, sit back, relax, follow everything I give you in the sense of understanding the technicals, fixing your psychology, because again, in doing the right things and applying the right processes and the right steps, you are literally forced to make fucking money. It's literally inevitable because you're doing everything right. Get what I'm saying? Thanks so much for you and crew, guys. You guys are amazing, like for real. Nobody's here for free. Hell yeah, thank you, Benny Boss. Take my profit. See you next week. Thank you, Larmings. See you next week. I'm glad, looking forward to it, Joris. Again, I'm going to DM you right after this, and then we'll get you into the Discord instead of the way tomorrow and stuff like that. Yeah, George, it's so true. As soon as you start thinking about the money, stop trading. Yeah, that's honestly a good way to think about it as well. I can't lie. As soon as you start thinking about the money, stop trading. I'm going to get that shit tattooed. I'm gonna get that shit tattooed on my ass for you, Brando. Just on my cheek. Alright, guys. Break even. Let's let the rest run. We're up 300 right now. That makes back what we lost earlier, but nonetheless, I think I'm just going to let it dip. Like, yes, there is a chance that price comes up to fill this gap before continuing lower. I am willing to accept that risk because nonetheless, we'll just be taking out a break even. But our TP is at about a 123.8, damn near 1 to 4. So let's see if price runs. Let's make some profits back. Again, guys, when it comes to DAX, oh my God, DAX is actually kind of looking nice. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm second guessing it now. Second guessing it now. Hold on. Oh, we look good though. I kind of want to enter if price pulls back here within the next 50 minutes. But the one thing I'm debating is because, like, if we look at general structure here, we have these highs, these breakouts here. We started to see these shifts. We didn't see a break of this high till here. We never had a pullback. So this could be our pullback into that leg 2 lead higher. That's my fear. Okay, because this is technically our low to our high. We could hit equilibrium and continue to have a deeper pullback within this, premium pricing. The one reason I am leaning towards sells is because if you look at the 4 hour, we have no wicks. We just came up and we reacted off this last little area of imbalance here, filling that imbalance, and we're not totally flipping the daily, creating a nice little top wick. I think we could sell off and potentially purge these lows. Nonetheless, again, like, I wanted to see price facilitate a deeper pullback, especially from yesterday into this equilibrium. But since we did end up taking these highs, treat them as liquidity, coming down, breaking the structural low, therefore that tells me price is most likely bearish now. Therefore, again, like, I could end up taking this. I might shoot on DAX, guys. Because nonetheless, even if price is facilitating the pullback of this area, we will be at 1-to-1, which is break even in partials. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this. It's my setup. Nice sweep of liquidity. Obviously 1 to 2. Let's go. Thanks, Nick. WT9 I'm out. Got to be up for New York Fire. How much is your biggest win in a day or per trade? Biggest trade? I've been very lenient recently, but probably around only like 3,000 or 4,000. And that's on a live account though. I don't risk crazy. And plus, I don't really go for a high RR. Like, if I were to go for 1 to 5, like, that could have been like 10K, 15K. But obviously, again, like, the bigger the RR, obviously, the more risk at hand, especially if price doesn't align with price going that far. But again, I've had a couple consistent, bigger days, 3, 4K. They stack up. I just had a nice little 8K withdrawal today for my live account. Was a nice way to pay myself a little bit before going on my trip. Probably take another one over there as well. Got my losses back from Asia. Let's go. I'm glad. What is NQ doing? Oh, is it still dumping? Oh, shit. All right, let's just hope price dumps. Maybe I just go for a nice little 1 to 3. Call it even. Where's that at? Let's find where that would be at. We've got to find the perfect structural level. Where is it? All right. It's about there. That's about a 1 to 3. So let's see what happens. Wait, there's a video showing you mark $30,000 on a trade. Like a reel? I think you're talking about a reel. YouTube? Where at? I don't remember all that. Unless we were just like fucking around on TradingView. On Legacy? I know we did a reel where we were on TradingView demo and we were up like 100K. But that was just for a reel. I'll have to find what you're talking about because that's the only one I know about. You tell me the YouTube video too. Can I answer? To which are you waiting? I'm just waiting for a 1 to 3, guys. You could ultimately wait for price to come and fill this entire area of imbalance, but I'm just going to go for a simple 1 to 3 here, guys. You could go for a 1 to 2 and that's some nice profits, not going to lie. Once we hit 1 to 2, you'll definitely be up for the day significantly. I may enter full at 1 to 2, I can't lie. It's a nice little, what, 700. We'll see. Nonetheless, definitely a nice little point of exit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow, guys. Also Sunday, I'm not going to be here. I'll be in the airport waiting to hop on my flight. I have a late night flight on Sunday. I may get someone else in here to stream, may not. Last time you guys didn't like it when I had someone else in here, but nonetheless I still want London to be covered, so we'll see. Or I go live from the fucking airport. Nah, I don't think I can do that. My plane leaves at 11:45. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I go live early. I don't think I can go live in the airport, though. We'd have fucking airport internet. With that being said, again, I'll be there Monday, though. Don't worry, I'll be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to absolutely bag the fuck out. Again, I will be traveling, so hopefully the internet's good. It should be. I got some nice places out there, so if it's not, I'm gonna fucking have a fit. That being said, guys, if you guys want access, you being live in Sundays, just other time. No, I don't think I'll be live Sunday. Nah, I don't think I'll be live Sunday, guys. I don't think so. Wait, did we? No way, we did. Was that the facilitation? No. Did we hit equilibrium? I don't like that. Hold on. If we hit equilibrium of this leg, then I don't want to take this anymore. Fuck, we did. Ugh. No, just other day, not, yeah. Yeah, any other day, I'm live Sunday. Sunday at 11:45 p.m. PST, so technically like going into Monday. But like I was saying, again, if you guys want instant funded accounts with Legacy, go ahead, DM me. I got the information for that. I can send that all over to you if you guys just want to go into instant accounts and not deal with the evaluation. Again, also, if you guys want to start working with me and Luca just kind of alongside us, we have a couple more spots open. Again, they're pretty much filled up. I think we have like 1 or 2 open, if that. But with that being said, you can also DM me about that. I'll be out of here. I'll see you guys Monday going into Tuesday. Let's have a great week. Let's have a great weekend. Everyone have a great weekend. Appreciate you guys. Nice little way to end NQ with a nice little W. Still running down, about to hit 1 to 2. So we'll see if we end up closing. But nonetheless, you guys should have definitely got some profits. I'm out of here. Later, tube.